this is the second battle between the Prussian prince and Diplomatt in the championship of Russia. We have the Prussian prince now commanding the Huns and the Sassanids here for Diplomatt. I'll go over the army of Diplomatt first. He has 4 Persian hurlers, 2 Persian bows, 2 Pushtigban cataphracts on each flank, 2 more Pushtigbans, so a total of 4. Then he has 2 Daylamites on each flank, a total of 6 Daylamites. The Persian noble, fast charge general, 1 more Pushtigban, and I believe 2 Armenian slingers. For the Prussian prince, we have, let's see, we have 6-step bows, skirmish green. Then we have a bunch of war warriors. This is an obvious Hun build, 2 Bosphorans. Elite Hunnic lancers, noble step cataphract. Yeah, so he's going for mass with his cavalry. He's going for his best infantry option, and he's going for his most cost-effective skirmish option. So smart build there by the Prussian prince. Now the build from Diplomatt is a bit of a curious one, because these Daylamites are not going to perform very well against war warriors, and in order for, I mean, the Pushtigban cataphracts, they are going to do a good job against the Huns, against the Hunnic cavalry on the charge, being very heavy and having a stellar charge bonus together with good armor and health. They can really do a number on the Huns. So the skirmish advantage here goes to Diplomatt. So he's going to have to use that skirmish advantage to defeat Prussian. And these Armenian slingers are, they're sort of, they're both a good unit and a problematic unit. Because of their high cost, it's very easy to waste their ammo and then have them be useless. Now, particularly against the Huns, they might be really good because of their extended range, because they will be able to do a lot of damage to shock cavalry very, very quickly. So that would be a great target for them. A poor target for them would be units like these step bows. That is a surefire way to waste Armenian slingers. Just fire at some step bows and watch your funds go down the drain. You cannot kill enough step bows with Armenian slingers to make them cost effective. It would require you to kill 3 whole units, and that's just not going to happen. Whereas with one of these cavalry units, you could kill something like half a unit and do some hit point damage, and that would be a good trade-off. So once again, the Prussian prince being patient, using his skirmishers pretty far ahead actually, maybe as bait, to try to get the cavalry of Diplomatt in. And this is something that I have liked to do myself, and something that, when I am in the state of mind to play patiently, it's something that's quite fun to do. Just have a huge skirmish green, very cheap, push it up, start skirmishing, and your opponent then either like in this particular scenario, the Prussian prince can actually stand here and trade, because his skirmish is much cheaper than the skirmish of Diplomatt. So the Prussian prince, using his skirmishers like this, although he's not going to win the skirmish fight by inflicting casualties on Diplomatt here, he is going to deplete the ammunition. You can see the ammunition on the Persian hurlers is getting reduced, and this is a decent enough trade for the Prussian prince here, and he's using heavy shot, which is a good idea. We can see the Persian bows here are also using heavy shot, so no flaming shot used in this instance. That would be a mistake with these particular units. Already a unit of step bows is starting to waver, but just look at how much ammunition has been lost here on these Persian hurlers, and it's questionable whether firing at these units was worth it for Diplomatt. It might be, we'll see. All depends on how he's able to capitalize on it, or but just having cheap skirmish like this is so great for being able to dictate the pace of the battle. Because in the previous battle, if you saw that, you saw Diplomatt get smashed because he engaged, and he kind of had to engage, but the cheap skirmish of the Prussian prince allowed him to dictate the pace and push Diplomatt back. So Diplomatt was not going to make that mistake again, but here you can see some Persian hurlers are actually starting to lose a few fights against Steppos, and overall it's not a great engagement for either player, but the Diplomat is using more of his army to combat a lesser part of the Prussian prince's army.
Our men have given up and are
So
running
if
for
we
their
just
lives.
remove the skirmish contingents from both armies, the stronger army remaining is belongs to the Prussian prince, in my opinion. But it's nice to see these extended skirmishes. Actually, it is, compared to just the YOLO rushing. This is a nice pace for a battle, I think. There's plenty of time for the commanders to think and not just click madly across the screen. And Diplomat is doing something smart here. He's using his Persian hurlers to charge into the step bows. Now, these units are terrible melee units. But doing this, and the Persian prince gets wise to it, pulls back, and then he counter charges with his own step bows here. So these Persian hurlers are going to get attacks in the rear, and that's going to be a bad time for them. But smartly done here by Diplomat in just charging the units that were firing on his units. And these depleted skirmish units can actually be very useful for that purpose. They weren't going to be able to make a meaningful contribution anyway, but it can be argued that they could be better used to block charges and or for balance of power purposes. But taking care of this unit of step bows was pretty nice for them. A bit of back and forth here, and yeah, the Persian bows finishing off some units of step bows here. And now the Prussian prince sort of has a bit of a problem here, because his front line is a mess, and he's not going to be able to block as effectively as he did in his first battle here. And now it's going to be interesting to see how Diplomat is going to be able to engage. But the Prussian prince doing something smart here. He's just moving away from the mess, using these units as a screen, moving away from the mess and saying, okay, I'm just going to focus everything on one flank here. I'm just going to ignore the mess that is happening here, and then I'm going to focus on this flank, which is a smart move, because this flank of Diplomat is starting to get out of position. So unless Diplomat reacts here, he could find this flank isolated, but it looks like there's a movement going on over here, so he might rectify that pretty soon. The Prussian prince still using his step bows to good effect by just baiting arrow fire, and there are a few step bows left here doing some damage. And wisely, Diplomat is conserving the ammo on his Armenian slingers. But looks like the Prussian prince is very eager to engage here, and I don't really blame him. Getting into these, here's the engagement's going to come. We have Pushtigban getting smashed in the side. They were attacking this unit, so very nicely done by the Prussian prince. Here we have the Persian nobles being charged by noble step cataphracts, but the Persian nobles they do not want to take on. They do not want to take on cavalry head on like that. And here we have an interesting engagement. Pushtigban versus Noble Steppe. But Noble Steppe, yeah, let's just pause it here to... I always talk about how mass kicks ass in this game. And look at the Pushtigbans. They have been charging here for a few seconds. They are very heavy shock. They have very high mass. 242 charge. Now, the Noble Steppe only have 10 less armor. They have quite a bit of health. They have a good charge bonus as well. But looking at the numbers here, the Noble Steppe cataphracts down by 10, and the Pushtigban cataphracts down by 2. A lot of impact damage being done here by the heavier cavalry unit. That is one of the disadvantages of the Huns. You can click the enemy units all you want, but if you lose each engagement, each cavalry engagement where you just click, that's not optimal. Let's just put it that way. And baiting and doing all kinds of fancy maneuvering to alleviate that is not going to be easy. So on this flank here we have a clusterfuck. Bit of a clusterfuck in the center. The general of the Steppe chieftain general is in a very dangerous position. He's about to get hit by Diplomat. He's losing 10 men right away. He's under fire, but there could be some friendly fire happening here, but yeah, he's just pulling out the Steppe chieftain. He's losing so many men. Both Prestigben and Elite Hunnic Lancers are wavering. If anything wins the day for the Huns now, it's going to be the Uar Warriors, because the Uar Warriors, the Prussian Prince has been able to protect his Uar Warriors fairly well. They're going to chew through Daylamites. They're going to chew through Prestigbens given enough time because of their high base damage and high AP. So if Diplomat doesn't use his skirmish wisely here, the Uars could just chew through everything that he has left here. It's entirely possible. And yep, it does not look good at the moment. If this Persian noble general, he gets hit by a noble step. And in my opinion, when playing the Huns, the main thing is stopping the enemy cavalry. You have good infantry. If you're able to... Here we have the steppe chieftain just running away in the background. He does not want to engage here. And the Prussian prince has gotten some nice counter charges here by baiting with one unit and then following up with another. And what I was going to say was that if you're able to stop the enemy cavalry and blob up with as the Huns, that's half the battle done here. And... yeah, you can see there's really not much Diplomat can do at this point. His general is dead, mass routing, and a Pyrrhic victory there by the Prussian prince. Looking at the kills here, yeah, you can see the Hunnic cavalry. Ironically, the Hunnic cavalry underperforms to a massive degree. It smashes into Prestigben and then it dies. But these Persian hurlers, and once again, the skirmishers of Diplomat get a decent amount of kills. They just don't get the kills they need, and this massive skirmish screen is why. Not impressive kills by the Steppos here, but they managed to shield these fragile units, and the Prussian prince wins a Pyrrhic victory with the Huns against the Sassanid Empire. So good game, guys. Thanks to Prussian for sending me the replay, and we'll see what happens in game number 3 between the Prussian prince and Diplomat. Strength and honor.